Okay, so this is my new car for the next 4 days. I've never driven a car this big. I'm so excited. So it's a 4x4, but I'll give you a bit more of a tour when we're out of the city because right now it is noisy as hell. Good morning. So it's our last night actually, and we're going to be driving on our own little road trip around the south coast now. We are going to Thingvellir Park first, but yeah, just to give you an update about yesterday, we just spent most of it going around sort of museums and just doing a full tour of Reykjavik before we left, and yeah, it was lovely, but I can't wait to get outside more into nature. Like I mentioned, we didn't catch the Northern Lights when we went on our tour. We could have rearranged it, but just because we had such a chock-a-block day yesterday going to all the museums and sort of big sites and really getting into Reykjavik and seeing as much as we could, we're not going to rearrange it because obviously we're off now, but hopefully when we're driving we can stay out late a little bit and just on one of those days try and catch the Northern Lights, fingers crossed. I know you shouldn't plan your trip to Iceland around the Northern Lights, but it's just one thing I've had on my bucket list forever, so I really do want to catch them. Yeah, I'll keep you updated about all of that. Sorry, I keep looking. They've just dropped off our car and it's sort of in the parking lot at the moment, so I'm just still trying to figure out how I'm going to be driving on the different side of the road. I'm panicking a little bit, but I've got a few years of experience of driving, so hopefully I'll be okay. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's a 4x4 as well. It's the biggest car I've ever drove. But yeah, try not to panic, and I will catch up with you when we get to Thingvellir National Park. So we just checked into our second hotel room, Hotel Kanslarinn. But yeah, it's a lot bigger than our other hotel room, given that we're not in the city. You've got a little bit of a desk area and our own kettle, finally. But yeah, same setup again. Got a decent view. And it's absolutely bucketing it down, which is why we had to cancel Thingvellir National Park quite short. But yeah, give you a quick sneak peek of the bathroom. Turn the light on. Where are we? There we go. So it's the same kind of shower. I actually kind of like this as well. It's like a walk-in shower, even though the water kind of pools on the bottom, but that's fine. Morning from Hotel Kanslarinn. So today is our first day just travelling around on our own and in the car. I had a bit of a drive yesterday to the hotel, and I think it was about an hour's drive. I started feeling a bit comfortable about halfway through, so fingers crossed it stays like that. But yeah, not too bad. It's still a bit weird getting my head around like driving on the other side of the road. It especially gets really complicated when you're on roundabouts. I'm so used to sort of going the right way that I'm going the wrong way. I just, it's insane. I don't know where I'm checking for the car, so I'm sort of checking everywhere. But yeah, so today we were meant to go to Vestmannaeyjar, so the Westman Islands, but the weather was really bad, so they'd actually changed the port from where we were going to catch the ferry, and because we have the car we couldn't just sort of leave it anywhere, just in case they dropped us in a different location and we wouldn't be able to get to the car. So we have now rearranged that for tomorrow, and today we're going to do what we had planned for tomorrow today. So we're going to go see the Kerid volcanic crater, we're going to see Geysir, which we're both really excited for. We're going to stop in Seljalandsfoss to post our postcards because that's like a bit of a holiday tradition we like to do. We always send them out to friends and family. What else? We have Gulfoss, and we have another waterfall that I can't remember the name of right now. I think it's Faxi? I'm not sure. I will put it down in the comments down below anyway of sorry, the description down below what we did per day, just so you have an idea, and I have it all written down there for you. But yeah, I'll catch up with you once we get to the pretty sights. Callum. It looks so small. So I keep forgetting to update you guys. So today is actually the next day. So yesterday we did Geysir and we saw Strokkur there, which is actually the one that erupts. I always thought it was Geysir for some reason, but as you know, we were incredibly excited to see it erupting. So we actually saw Strokkur erupt twice whilst we were there, and actually managed to catch it on film the second time actually. First time I was just like, wow, it was incredible. It did smell like rotten eggs, but you kind of get used to the smell after a while. But yeah, that was definitely amazing. We also saw Gulfoss, and which was spectacular. It was definitely one of the best waterfalls I have ever seen. The one we saw before that, I posted a bit of it on my Instagram stories. I think that was Faxi. Yeah, Faxi waterfall. That was pretty good too. And yeah, what else did we see? We saw Gulfoss, Faxi, we saw Strokkur and Geysir, and also Kerid volcanic crater, which I wasn't sort of looking forward to that much just because I didn't know much about it. But once we got there, that was really lovely too. They actually have some sort of steps where you can go into the lake, which is collected at the bottom of the crater, and that was really, really lovely. It's so nice and peaceful there as well. I picked up a bit of volcanic rock to take home with me as well. Naughty, I know. But yeah, it was beautiful. It's sort of like all the paths are like bright red as well, so it's really, really lovely. And it's incredible Instagram photos. I mean, all of Iceland is, but really, really good photos to be taken there. And in the night, we actually set up around 9:30 to go in search for the Northern Lights. So as we all know, seeing as I've mentioned it 1,000 times in this vlog, we missed Northern Lights on our planned tour where we had a bus take us out of Reykjavik and try and look for them. And we didn't see any that night. It was just raining. It was incredibly overcast. But yesterday, the rating was about 4. The KP rating, which is like how you know the best day to see the Northern Lights, was 4, which is a pretty sort of like just above moderately average chance of seeing the Northern Lights, and that was roughly at 10 p.m. So we left the hotel at 9:30 to try and find a quiet place away. So even though we're in like a small town, there's still some light pollution, and you need a lot of darkness to get the best chance of seeing the lights. So we stopped by this waterfall called something. I'll put it in the description box because I don't think I'll be able to pronounce it even if I do remember it. It was a very, very complicated long name, so I am sorry, I'm not going to try and butcher it. And so there's a little parking spot. We parked up there, and literally as soon as you got out of the car you could see the Milky Way, which I wasn't even sure that's something you can see. But yeah, I had quickly googled it, and it's like a really common thing to see in Iceland around about this time of the year, and I was just completely taken aback by it. It was so, so beautiful and so unexpected, and literally a few minutes later the Northern Lights appeared, and it was overwhelming. It was so amazing. We sort of saw like the green haze. We didn't get to see all the sort of blue and the violets, but again the rating was about just above moderately average. I still think we're super lucky to have just seen them, let alone as sort of bright green as they were. But yeah, that was amazing. And halfway through Callum proposed, which I was sorry, I'm still on a high. So we wanted a few days just to ourselves where like we only told, like, I think I texted my brother and one of my best friends, and we just wanted to keep it to ourselves for a few days before we told everyone. But by the time this video is edited and posted, I'm sure everyone knows. But yeah, I absolutely love it. My camera keeps blanking out, but yeah, that's the ring. It's got a sapphire, which is my favourite stone, and obviously blue is my favourite colour as well. So oh, I just love it. Have you ever seen anything more perfect? Oh, I'm engaged! But yeah, huge news, mind-boggling news. But yeah, that was all very, very magical, and a night I will always remember. But yeah, that was exciting, and going away from all of this, otherwise I could talk about it for hours. Today we went to Westmannaeyjar, or Westman Islands, and also the island we went to is called Heimaey, but apparently like on all maps it's called Westmannaeyjar as well, so I'm just going to call it Westmannaeyjar for now. But I don't know if you know a brief history about the island. The volcano actually erupted in 1973, and it's kind of like the Pompeii of the north, because when that volcano erupted, it, like, the lava covered so many houses, everyone had to be evacuated like with extremely short notice, and then they later sort of, some families returned, some decided not to, and they had to sort of excavate as many houses as they could and sort of restore and rebuild them. And it was so interesting. I went to the museum where they had some sort of, what do you call them, like voice recordings of people sort of narrating the story. Can't get my words, but basically they were just remembering what it was like at the time and when they had to sort of leave, and they could only take what they could carry, and just sort of reliving the story again. It was truly inspiring to just listen to it. And you had like these visual aids being shot up on the television screens as well. Television screen, why am I such a grandma? On the TV screens. And we were like given these like headphones to listen to obviously listen to stories. You've seen these visual aids. It was a really good experience. I've never been to like a all-round museum experience like that, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like is the ferry ride to the island and back. I've never been seasick before, and maybe the waves were like overly bumpy today, but I absolutely hated it. You couldn't get me off that ferry any quicker. Yeah, the actual island itself was absolutely stunning, but I really did not like that ferry. And I should also mention, the island itself, the winds are so strong. It's already so cold, and then on top of that you got like these winds thrashing you around. So as long as you stay sort of wrapped up warm, be fully prepared, I mean, you're still gonna freeze. But the actual island itself is definitely something to see. I highly recommend it. We had to like cut it a little bit short again because of the cold, and we were wearing like double layers everywhere, but still it was really chilly. But yeah, it was definitely a sight to see. You got all the like lava fields, and you got the new houses built, and just even the natural landscape as well is absolutely stunning. So lovely. So today again was probably the coldest day that we've had so far. It was about -4 degrees when we set out, and by the time we came home it was about -5. And by home I mean the hotel. I always say home. But today we went to Black Sand Beach, Reynisfjara. It's in Game of Thrones as well, where you have Daenerys and Jon sort of walking across the beach, and then you have like this kind of giant's causeway side of the cliff as well, and that's what they had as the dragon cave. But yeah, that was all very exciting. But again, it was absolutely freezing, so we literally took a quick few pictures and we were on our way again. I didn't actually vlog anything. The winds were super strong, and we had to keep an eye out on the waves as well, because apparently a lot of tourists get swept up in them. They don't expect them getting sort of bigger, and it happens quite unexpectedly, so I was just very weary and careful of everything. But yeah, after that we went to Seljalandsfoss, I think I'm saying that right, Seljalandsfoss, and there's a nearby waterfall by it, I think it's about 500 meters from that particular waterfall, that they have one where it's like a waterfall inside a cave, which was so freaking impressive. It was incredibly icy, so we had to sort of like step into the stream part of it to be able to get into it, and because it was so cold, all the water on the stones made it super slippery and icy, so it was better just to walk into the stream and on the water, just so there's no risk of slipping. But that was absolutely stunning. Seljalandsfoss is the waterfall that you can walk around, but we couldn't actually do that today again because it was so cold. They closed the path just to make sure there wasn't any slips or falls or anything. But yes, the main site which I was the most excited for was Skogafoss. But again, because it was so freaking cold, we didn't do the climb where you can sort of climb up the hill and see a downwards view of the waterfall and just seeing everything. It was so freaking cold, as you would have seen in the video. There was like giant chunks of snow and ice just floating in the stream that was coming from the waterfall because it was so freaking cold. All the water spray on the cliffs from the waterfall were like covered in ice, and it was so cold. You could see people that were getting the water splashback from the waterfall and it's literally freezing onto their clothes in turning into ice in front of you. It was so cold, so I took a very quick video, and it's just really gutting because with these kind of things you do want to spend a bit more time to look at them, but sometimes it's just the cold. Like today was absolutely unbearable. We were wrapped up really warm. I had like 4 layers on my top and 2 layers on the bottom, 2 pairs of socks, really strong hiking boots, and I was shivering. It was so cold, so I just couldn't wait to get back to the car. But it was one of the things that I was really excited to see in Iceland, so I was still happy that I got to see it. I'm just a little bit gutted that we couldn't do the climb because it was just too cold, and it was so windy that you don't have much of a barrier when you're climbing up the cliff. I was just scared of being like swept away. But yeah, so that was one tiny little regret from today, but otherwise so happy with how much we sort of packed in. And tomorrow I'm going to be driving back to Reykjavik and we'll be returning the car, and we'll be going to Blue Lagoon as it's our last day in Iceland, last full day, so it's been quite a journey. Everyone. So I just started transferring all the footage onto my laptop to start editing, and I realised I hadn't filmed an intro. So this is actually the next day after we're obviously at home. I've got my little penguin duvet covers. So yeah, we're back in the UK now. Blue Lagoon was incredible. It was amazing. The only thing, my hair is still, as you can see, incredibly static and coarse. I tried to do the best I could with it. By putting in some oil and like doing a really thorough hair mask, but I think it's going to take a few washes until it's back to normal, which is really frustrating because I literally left the conditioner on like they mentioned in Blue Lagoon to do it beforehand, and make sure you wash it properly and then leave an extra conditioner, put your hair in a hide burn. So I did all of that. I barely went underwater. And yeah, my hair feels like trash, but it's a lot better than it was the night we got back from Blue Lagoon. I couldn't even brush it. It was so sort of hard to get through. But yeah, otherwise Blue Lagoon was so good. It was an absolutely unforgettable experience. I really enjoyed it, and I'm so glad we left it to the last minute. And yeah, because it was just probably the best highlight. I know it's like such a touristy thing to do, but it's one thing that we were both really looking forward to, so I really enjoyed that. But yeah, so that's our Iceland adventure come to an end. It was an incredible holiday. It got really cold the last, I think, 2 or 3 days, where we were sort of had like only 3 things planned for the day, but we were literally going there, shooting a quick video, having a quick look around, and then it was back to the car. And it was nothing like when we first got into Iceland and we were spending like hours going around and stuff, really taking our time. I don't think we were anywhere more than like 30 to 40 minutes at any site in the last like 2 or 3 days, because it was just so mind-numbingly cold. Like the wind was freezing, and yeah, it was ridiculous. So despite that though, I had an amazing time. But I'm so happy to be home. I am definitely a creature of habit. I love my cups of teas and my little coffees, have my little sofa, my blanket. So I'm so happy to be home. And yeah, tomorrow's my birthday, and it's Bandi Chor and Diwali, so this is probably gonna be really late by the time the video goes out, but happy Diwali to all my Hindu friends, and happy Bandi Chor Divas to all my Sikh friends and family. Hope you all have an amazing time, even though it would have passed by this time. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me some comments down below of your favourite things in the vlog. That would be great. And also any sort of feedback on the vlog, because this is my first time doing a vlog, so I was quite awkward. But yeah, that'd be really appreciated, and don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. But that is everything from me, so I will see you in the next one. Bye!